Hey, what's up? It's Jake, and we're going to review the map, zip, and filter options, or functions, I should say. So I got a script here that kind of shows some mapping, and since we already kind of went over this, I'm just going to kind of go through it really quickly. And what we're looking at is just kind of showing you if I were to map something with a lambda star A and range 3. This object is iterable, but it's not really useful. So you can set this up a little bit differently and instead say, I'm going to wrap this inside of a list. And you get something a little bit easier to work with. So in this case, I just passed it to range 3, but if I wanted to also pass a string ABC, it's going to assign A, B, and C to 0, 1, and 2. But there's also another concept when we get into comprehensions. It's good to know. It's that with maps and stuff, is that there is a least number that you have to worry about. So if I did like in range 4, you can see that it still only does 3 because there's only 3 things to iterate on. And so it's only going to iterate over the lowest number. And yeah, just something I wanted to kind of go over really quick. In the case of like creating a dictionary like this, you can decorate. And what I did was I returned the sum of however many credits a student has and just grab the values so that we can take the number of credits and then sort the map of students based on how many credits they have. So if I were to actually, and it doesn't look pretty, but you can get the idea. If I were to actually run this, you'll see what I'm talking about. So here, ID 2, this student has the most credits, and then ID 1, and then ID 0, and then ID 3. So that might be a way to manipulate a map of dictionary objects. So yeah, so that should cover pretty much everything we need to do with map. We already also covered zip, which will return the iteration of tuples, but we're just gonna go over this really quickly. So if I did grades equals 18, 23, 30, and 27, and then I have an averages, AVGs, which is going to be 22, 21, 29, 24. And I want to do a list, and then I'm going to zip averages and grades. You can see here that it's going to take 22 first, because that's what I said. Zip it into 18, 21 with 23, 29 with 30, 24 with 27, and so on. So this is another way to use list, for example. The list does make it kind of nice. And the other one I would say is there's a way to map and zip. So if I were to take A equals 5, 9, 2, 4, 7, B equals 3, 7, 1, 9, 2, C equals 6, 8, 0, 5, 3, and then say I want the maxes. We're going to make a map, and I'm just going to pass a lambda function here and say n max star n, and then also use my zip function to zip A, B, and C. Then what I can do is I can wrap that in a list, and you just get this returned. So what is this? 6, 9, 2, 9, 7. So it's going to make a map, but it's going to only make the map zipped with A, B, C, but it's going to make the list of the maximum numbers for A, B, and C. So in this case, the first number, the highest number is 6. The second number, the highest number is 9, and then 2 and 9 and 7. So that's another way to make a map with the zip function and also wrap that in a list object. So anyways, and then the last thing I wanted to go over was filters. So let's do test. We'll just make a test object, and it'll have 2, 5, 8, 0, 0, 1, 0. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to make a list, but what I want to do is I want to filter, and I want to say none and test. And we can see here that there's no value for 0, so it's going to filter those out and just return 2581. Well, I could also do, to get the same result, I could list, filter, and then do a lambda, which is just x for x test, and get the same thing. Or let's say I only want to do something greater than some number. So I could also list and just filter, and then I can say lambda x, and then I say I'm going to filter x greater. I only want x greater than 4 in my test object, and I get 5 and 8. So if you know map and you know zip and you know filter, you can manipulate sequences pretty effectively, but they're not the only way to do things, and they do get a little complicated, right? You're probably looking at this code and already going, geez, how did I get here? We were just doing string manipulation. So all I'll say is there's a way to do this that makes this a little easier, but we're going to use map, zip, and filter a lot. So make sure you understand these concepts, and if you have any questions, let me know.